welcome back. In this session, you will have the opportunity to see the first results of our project. First intellectual output of Ristić project is the review of best practices on educating sustainability and heritage, which presents data collection from each of the participating schools of architecture. Best examples of courses, best examples of built projects in participating countries, as well as critical review of current policies. This presentation is prepared by the University of Cyprus. We will be able to hear more detailed information from the Professor Maria Philokyprou, Scientific Coordinator and Project Manager from University of Cyprus.
Thank you very much. Do you hear me well? It's okay?
Yes, we can hear you. And also with the presentation.
Okay, so now we are going to discuss a bit about the result of the first intellectual output and the review of the best practices. Actually, this presentation will be divided into 4 parts: an introduction, then the preparatory phase, the initial analysis, and then some conclusions. The review of the best practices, which constitute the first deliverable of the program, present data collection from each of the participating schools of architecture. Actually, the development of this output encourages teaching possibility on the sustainability of the built environment, as well as on the heritage awareness. The need of this output is reflected in its recognized ability to help in identifying the example of best practices and initiatives that have the potential to assist the consortium members while developing their courses. This analysis helps towards an approach that closely links academia and the current professional needs by aiming towards up-to-date learning possibilities. This study produced new knowledge and innovative elements regarding contemporary approaches for new curriculum development with respect to different cultural environments. This output serves as a guide that offers new strategies for the future development of higher educational courses based on the experience of the university involved in this project. Actually, the report conducted followed 3-step approach: scientific, specific local case studies on pedagogical and educational models, selecting specific local case studies of built architectural and urban design projects, as well as a review and influence of national policies on the sustainability of heritage. And now we're moving to the second part of the presentation, the preparatory phase. Actually, in order to collect and compare data by all the partners, the UCY team, and especially my 2 colleagues, Mariano Daraki and Theodora Hagipetru, prepared some templates in order to insert their material by the 5 partners. So the aim was to collect 20 projects, 4 local case studies for each partner, the template 1, 20 pedagogical and educational models, 4 courses, again for each partner, that have faced the challenges of sustainability and cultural heritage, that is template 2. And the template 3, the summary of the urban policies implemented in the country of each partner. For the preparation of these templates, actually we prepared some drafts. We circulated in our team and then to the other partners, and we collected feedback, and then we prepared the final template. Just after the preparation of these templates, an online shared folder was prepared by the Ristić coordinator where each partner could insert the material. So specifically, each partner upload 4 case studies project, 4 case study courses, and 1 template for urban policies. Actually, an additional template regarding the graduate programs of each partner was created as an optional for each partner. And finally, and documents where comments and conclusion highlighting the strengths and weaknesses points from each partner was prepared, and this was very helpful for the University of Cyprus team in order to prepare this report. An effort was made to create simple yet comprehensive templates where all relevant information about the courses and projects could be inserted. Here we can see the first template. The first template, it was about best practices in sustainability and build heritage pedagogical education models. Here we can see this template where general information could be included, as well as basic information regarding the title, type, context, object of the courses, connection of the courses with aspects of sustainability, as well as teaching methodologies, involvement of professional extra participants in the courses, and some samples of students' works. Here you can see some of these samples. Actually, in each template, not only general information was inserted, but also specific material in relation to sustainability and heritage, which were the 2 main aspects of HERSU's project. In the same way, we prepared the template about sorry, I didn't move to the next one, about the template 2 about the project. Here we can see some of the material that was inserted in these templates, identifications on the side, general information about the project, history of the building, description of the interventions that the building was undertaken, visual material about the project, and also some material about the dissemination of the project and reference to worldwide samples. So you can see here another template regarding the projects that we prepared. The sample is from a project from the University of Cyprus. So the template regarding heritage projects has also a simple structure as the template 1, and incorporate some general material, but also some information about aspects of sustainability. And now we move to the third template, is the best practices in urban policies in relation to heritage sustainability. And here you can see a sample of this template. And in this template, some material about the framework, the managing authorities, applied practices, initiatives, methods were inserted in this. After the preparation of the above described templates from each partner, the University of Cyprus team has studied very carefully the context of each template and prepared general comparative tables. Mainly they were prepared by my colleague Maria Navaraki for all related project courses and urban policies recorded. The last one was prepared, the template by Theodora Hajibedru. So these templates, these comparative tables were a very valuable tool and for the preparation of this report. In addition, more detailed tables were prepared regarding specific elements that were considered to be important for this research program focuses on aspects of sustainability and heritage. Valuable conclusions were also extracted through the detailed study of these tables. In the process of the preparation of this report, actually we managed to prepare an interactive map where Theodora Hadjipetrou developed this and put all the projects and the courses in this map. So here I can share with you a video with the voice of Theodora describing you this application. It will take about 5 minutes, and then I will continue with the presentation.
For the study and classification of the archival material, an interactive map was developed using Google Earth. The choice of the Google Earth web was made consciously so that the map can be accessed easily via the internet. The aim is to have access to information about the projects and courses that have been selected by each partner. When the user imports the KML file, all the information appears. The user can hide the menu bar and navigate the map as he wishes. The projects are classified in the folders of the 5 universities. If the user clicks in a project, the tracker zooms in the map and leads him to the selected site or building. In the video is presented as an example the Boulevard 79 office building selected by University of Belgrade. Through the study of the map, the user can perceive the spatial relations between the projects and their surrounding space, especially in areas that have a 3-dimensional image. In each project is briefly given information about its construction and about its design idea for the renovation or restoration. For a complete picture of the respective project, photos are provided before and after interventions. Through the menu bar, you can choose any project you want to explore from the 5 folders. First, we have the folder with the projects from Serbia. In the second folder, there are the projects from Italy. In the third folder, the project from Cyprus. In the fourth folder, the project from Greece. And finally, in the fifth folder, the project from Spain. As for the courses, the user can find them related with each university with information about the study program they belong to. In the video, there are presented all the universities. First is shown the University of Cyprus. Second is the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. Third is the University of Belgrade. Fourth is the University of Venice. Fifth is the University of Seville.
So we're moving on. Many thanks to Theodora that prepared not only the application, but in the video for me. So we are moving now to the initial analysis of the results of the data gathered. We found out that some criteria were used for the selection of the case studies. So we realized that various criteria were used by the partners for the selection of the individual case studies, pedagogical and educational models. The main criteria was the relationship of these courses to aspects of sustainability and cultural heritage. Thus, courses that have faced challenges of sustainability and cultural heritage were mainly selected. In addition, it should be mentioned that both elective and compulsory courses that belong to graduate programs of conservation, environmental sustainability, architecture, urban design were mostly selected, but at the same time, courses that are listed in the program structure of the final years of the 5-year professional diploma of architectural cycle, or to other graduate courses such as studies of architecture, landscape heritage, historical heritage, were also selected, and a very limited number of courses that don't belong to specific university programs and where workshops were also selected. Regarding the general program of study content of the courses, it can be noted that theoretical as well as studio-based courses were selected, as well as courses that combined theory with design. Almost all courses included lecture, critical essays, design project, workshops, seminars, or practical work. In these courses, various methodological teaching tools were used, such as lectures, overview, analysis, case studies, student presentation, teamwork, and design studios, site visits, discussions, laboratory work, etc. So it was very rich teaching material. For the selection of the case study projects, again, various criteria were used, such as stage of the buildings, position, scale, ownership, awards, publicity, etc. All the project addressed aspects of cultural heritage and sustainability. So buildings with cultural architectural values were selected that had undergone an intervention in which sustainable parameters were taken into consideration. They all represent good examples and practices of last centuries. Historic buildings were selected, as well as structures of the modern movement, historic centers, rural settlements, historic parks. The case studies are situated either in urban or semi-urban areas, as well as urban, mountainous, coastal, semi-mountainous areas. Most of the buildings are in public use, whereas a small number of them are in private use. Here we can see a catalog of the courses selected by each country. Here you can see Serbia, Italy, Cyprus, Greece, and Spain. Some general remarks regarding courses. All the partner universities offer postgraduate programs and courses of studies relevant to the themes of sustainability and cultural heritage. Specifically, most of the university offer programs on conservation of historic building, historical heritage, or landscape heritage. And nearly all universities offer programs on energy efficiency, green architecture, energy technology, sustainable design, or sustainable architecture, environmental architectural, and urban design. Most of the courses selected belong to these above-mentioned programs. Many of these graduate programs are interdisciplinary and interdepartmental. They incorporate courses from different departments of the universities, and the students attending these courses comes either from architecture, either from engineering, humanities, other sciences, economics, and law. Here we can see one of these, a part of a comparison table. You can see the courses above and the program that then below each of the, each course in which program belongs. Here you can see again a part of the same table, and we can see again the courses and the type of course in the below. So you can see that the course 1, it's a lecture theoretical project. The second one is a workshop. The third one is a design studio. So in this way, you can see some specific details for each course, and at the same time, you can somebody can compare this the one between the other, and you can see that in some school like the Thessaloniki School of Architecture, most of the courses that were selected were design studio based. In some universities, critical approaches are followed regarding heritage, considering it as a source of inspiration, whereas sustainability is addressed mostly with a technical approach linked to such scientific aspects as energy control, monitoring, or environmental policy. Some courses offer more theoretical knowledge, but some involve integrated workshops that offer learning opportunity and work experience under the direct supervision of high-profile professionals and teachers. In some courses, architects, engineering, or other agents involved in professional practice participate in the teaching process. An additional positive aspect of a number of these above-mentioned courses is the collaboration of students with public administrators and institutions, heritage researchers, and local legislators. Another common theme in many courses is that they are, especially that they are related with cultural heritage, is their focus on local case studies, and more specifically on the historic context offered by the city within which each university is located. Concerning the context of the various courses and the extent to which these courses address aspects of sustainability and promote cultural heritage as a base for social, economic, and environmental development, it is noted that different focus was given in this aspect. That's why we prepared tables that focus on this aspect. Here you can see that for each course, we gather information about the involvement of the aspect of sustainability in medium, low, or high, in a high degree. So here we can see one of these tables, and you can see the variation of the degree of involvement of these aspects of sustainability. And it is worth saying that all the partners note that they face some problems, some obstacles during teaching sustainability and cultural heritage in the framework of some of these projects. Some general remarks now regarding projects. The chosen case study projects are very valuable example in the context of enhancing the exchange of good practices to support awareness raising about European heritage, environmental, and climate change challenges. Most of the projects were carried out in the last 20 years and belong to a wide range of historical periods, starting from the 14th to the 20th century. Specific case studies of built architecture and urban design projects confirm the focus on the development of new participatory and intercultural approaches to heritage, and the exceptional strength and desire of the architects and urban planners to preserve and enhance the qualities of architecture and urban heritage. The case study focused on historic urban areas with high cultural value. Most of them were listed or protected in a way and are representative of different scales of intervention and reflect multi-phased approaches in designing for sustainability, conservation, reuse, resilience. The case studies underline the idea of sustainability concerning environmental or technical issues and social, economy, and cultural aspects. the reuse of historic buildings to create a new social and cultural values is consistent with the European Commission argument about this whole thematic strategies of recent years. Here we can see a table, a summary table about the project. In the above part of the table, you can see the case studies and derived from each partners, and is a part of the table. Here you can see the location of each case study and the accessibility, and you can see that most of the projects have public access, and a small number has a private use. And for the location, you can see that urban areas, rural areas, urban centers, and a variety was chosen. Here you can see the tables for the project that focus on the sustainability aspects and social, economic, environmental sustainability, as well as we collect all the techniques that we are using in the project in order to reflect the sustainable design. So here you can see some parts of the tables derived from Serbia, and also some material from the University of Cyprus. Some general remarks regarding the urban policies. Through the detailed study of the legislative frameworks and urban policy strategy implemented by the countries of the partners, we managed to derive to some general remarks about the framework of each country, as well as the framework of all the countries. And we found out that for the protection of cultural heritage, the different countries have implemented the international charter and declaration. Additionally to their own policies and laws, it has been observed that the laws on the management on cultural heritage were enacted earlier than the laws on sustainability. And this has positive and negative impacts. The positive impact is that they were implemented years ago, so there was an early control over the use and protection of historic buildings. But the problem is that this legislation can be characterized a bit outdated and inadequate for the new requirements of our times. For this reason, it is necessary, at least for some of this legislation, to be reviewed, strengthened, and updated. On the other hand, the laws regarding the policies of sustainability, these were more recently created and implemented, as the terms and the concept around sustainability have only recently emerged. As a result, these laws are more up-to-date and closer to contemporary reality, addressing issues that exist in present. This is confirmed by the research of this framework of each partner. Many policies and laws focus on urban regeneration as well as on heritage landscapes. At the same time, laws and policies of sustainability and heritage appear. In addition, many new at the same time, many new regulations relate to energy performance as well as to energy retrofitting of existing structure. Despite the fact that all countries incorporate such policies regarding the sustainable development of old historic centers and rural areas, there are no sufficient tools applied regarding to the energy retrofitting of heritage buildings. Here we can see a trial to separate the urban policies to policies that are more related to sustainability, that are more related to heritage, or are related to both sustainability and heritage. It was not very easy, and not very clear, because many of these policies are not so clearly focused on one of the aspects. And actually, these two aspects are generally have a close relationship. And we come to some concluding remarks about the courses. The universities involved in HERSUS project continuously tend to engage and incorporate the innovative teaching practices in the field of heritage and sustainability of the built heritage. At the same time, the interdisciplinary of the courses and programs that focus either on conservation or environmental sustainable aspects, or on both, ensures the collaboration of students of different backgrounds. The postgraduate courses and programs on conservation and sustainability provide students with the necessary knowledge and experience in the conservation of built heritage in building energy performance, as well as aspects of sustainability. They address to a lesser or greater extent issues of social, economic, environmental, and cultural sustainability. The overall assessment of the content of the structure of the outline courses and programs are deemed adequate to meet the current needs and requirements of the local market in the field of architectural and urban design in relation to sustainability and heritage. And explicit learning outcomes focus on providing theoretical and practical knowledge in the field of conservation, environmental, sustainable design aspects, thus preparing students for practice in the private or public sector, as well as in theoretical or applied research. Some concluding remarks regarding the projects. Sustainability issues involved in the case study project are expressed through social, economic, and environmental aspects. The social aspect in most cases studied as are seen in the connection created between the project and the local communities. And actually, the participation of the local community to decision making, especially when we're dealing with urban projects. The economic aspects are presented by the case study are related to the upgrading the financial outlook of local community, the introduction of new investments, and the creation of new economies in favor of the local needs. The sustainable design is reflected through the adaptation of the new designs to the changes, social, cultural, and economic settings without substantially altering the physical properties, and with the purpose of preserving the traditional identity and visual integrity of a historic area. The above-mentioned case study project displaying good practices can incorporate aspects of heritage and sustainability that constitute important teaching tools for the university. And these projects show the competence and motivation of educators and researchers to include curricular elements that will have tangible results and very environmentally sensitive relationship with built heritage and sustainability concepts. And some concluding remarks about the urban policies. The very rich urban policy framework regarding heritage and sustainable development of each partner shows the involvement of cultural heritage and sustainable aspects in the management of the existing built and physical environment, and can be also incorporated in the educational models. From the analysis, it can be noted that all the partners countries give attention to aspects of sustainability and heritage through their legal framework and strategies, with some countries placing great emphasis on heritage with references to conservation practices. The legislative framework of each country is considered sufficient, but there are some shortcomings regarding updates of existing laws. Furthermore, a balanced approach is still needed to the sustainable management of cultural heritage because of the absence of guidelines for achieving both on a common base. And here we can see that from the conclusions and the remarks of each partner, we summarize the problems and the obstacles that each partner found in in this either in courses or projects. And actually we find out that from this analysis highlighted the potential for further integration between the different courses and programs dealing with sustainability and heritage in order to develop critical thinking on how current and future practitioners may preserve, use, and develop architectural cultural heritage in a sustainable way, and how cultural heritage may be used as a driving force for sustainable development, including social, economic, and environmental parameters. And in conclusion, we can say that the partner universities are taking considerable steps towards integrated heritage preservation and sustainability in teaching, making use of case study projects as well as legislative framework, especially in the field of sustainability and energy management. Even so, further improvements are necessary in order to support financial and social engagement, ensuring at the same time the integrity of cultural heritage. I think I finish now. So I think there is time for question. It was about 35 minutes, I think, my presentation.
Do we have questions? There is no questions until now, but before we continue with the next session, I would like to mention once again that there is possibility to ask questions within the question and answer sessions for all participants.